Good morning, everybody. I'm here talking about ChatGPT, the future of AI, artificial intelligence, and I want to show you what it looks like. I know that if you've seen me live or you've seen me on YouTube, just the videos, yes, go to my previous videos, maybe on TikTok or even Instagram. And the reason why I want to share this information is because I don't believe that many educators or parents know what it is, and there's some ethics behind it. And some of those ethics, by the way, just understanding the basics of what generative pre-trained transformer is. And some of you are like, what is she talking about? Well, back in November of 2022, OpenAI decided to launch what had already been in existence, their chatbot, for lack of a better phrase. And this chatbot opened a world of efficiency for many. And for some, yes, it probably opened up some maybe cheating, plagiarism, fear, anxiety. And I want to kind of put that at ease. It's not going away. Just like in 1995, Google, just the search engine itself, Yahoo, uh, it was available. And we know that there were people out there in college and in high school, if they had access to the internet, where they would read their assignment, go and find something on the internet, copy, cut, and paste, and put it in their essays. And we know that because as educators, what did we do? Well, we saw hyperlinks, we saw text that wasn't maybe black, it was grayed out, it was a different color, and the students didn't know anything about it. So I want to show you what this platform looks like. I'm going to show you, let's see, I think I'm going to show you the free version as well. And the reason why I'm going to show you the free version is because it looks slightly different than, say, this paid version. So we're going to log in together, and I'm going to my screen. This is my screen. And in this screen, you just see my Google account. I'll make it slightly bigger for you. Let's see. Make it slightly bigger. And I'm going to go to the platform chat.openai.com. Now, I'm already logged in. But if you're not a member or you don't have an account, you want to go to openai.com, or you can Google ChatGPT OpenAI. And this is their platform. And I wanted to show you this platform. And the reason I want to show you this platform is because it gives you some information from an educator's perspective. If you do a little bit of a deep dive, like you can, it gives you an overview. It gives you what the API is, about ChatGPT overview, and then you can just search the platform. So I would just search the platform and I would type in education, especially if you're a teacher, even if you're a parent. And it's, of course, it's thinking about it. And there are some blogs about what you can do from an educator's perspective, maybe the research behind it, customer stories, again, blogs, and some of the pages that you should have access to on ChatGPT. So if we go to the overview here, it gives you some background of the path of the artificial intelligence as to why ChatGPT came about. And at least OpenAI's version, because some of you know that Bing is available, which is a partner with OpenAI. And you also know that there's Bard, for example, Perplexity. You may not know that. But ChatGPT, this is where you can try ChatGPT for free. There are versions of it, just like if you have an iPhone, you have a version, iOS, whatever. But they have a version like 3.5 and 4.0. 3.5 is the free version. And again, I recommend that you go through some of these things. There is a location here, and I'll show you where it is, about what you can do for ChatGPT for educators. So even if you just search ChatGPT for educators, there's, and we're just going to type in OpenAI. So it goes right to in August of 2023, it gives you the teacher resources. This is a particular blog. You can see the picture of the blog, so if you can't find it. and it tells you find additional resources for teachers. So the reason why I wanted to show you this is because it gives you is ChatGPT, but it answers questions that you know you're thinking about. How can educators respond to students presenting AI generated content in their classroom? Oh, because we know the students will cheat. So it gives you some do AI detectors work? In short, no, they don't. So, you know, you hear of these ideas that this one gentleman or a few people created these AI detectors. I tried it. I wrote an essay, a short essay, like a couple of pages. And then I asked ChatGPT with the same prompt to create the essay. And then I used that and I said, so tell me which one is formulated by AI. It didn't know. And then one time it told me that mine was created by AI, and it wasn't. So you have to be cognizant of your students. Parents, you should be very aware of your children and what they're doing with AI. According to AI, according to OpenAI, they recommend that just like social media, that children be at least 13 years old. The caveat is with parent permission. So if you are in a school district and you don't have like a user scope and sequence, and you don't have, you know, if students are using it or teachers are using it, is there a scope and sequence so that students know that you need to have parent permission? Um, so that's just something I wanted to show you. But here, this is my free version. The difference between the free version is just slightly different, but there are some, I pay about $20 a month. But this is a version 3.5. It even shows you that you need to upgrade to have 4.0. You have, this is your dashboard on the left side. It saves your chat feature. And if you go here to your settings, you can customize some instructions. That I didn't do that right away, but I did it in the free version. I'm always an educator by trade. An eighth grade science teacher. I taught in Illinois, I taught in California and in Ohio. And then, and I say that what we use as our state standards. And then I told it to respond as if I'm speaking with eighth graders and consider adding NGSS appropriate. I should probably correct that, standards when it fits. And then students call me Dr. Blasey. And it actually responds as such. So, and whenever if you decide to use ChatGPT, first of all, the future of AI is not going away. So I recommend every time I do this live, I say, ask it a question or give it a statement. That we call that a query. So you can ask it to tell me about ChatGPT. That's the statement, or you can say, what is ChatGPT? I'm going to say, tell me about ChatGPT and open, this time I'm going to add an open AI. I gave it a statement. Again, free version. Those of you that are like, what is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is exactly what it's telling you. And remember, I gave it parameters because in my settings, as my custom settings, I told it that I respond as if I'm speaking with eighth graders. It says, hey there. So ChatGPT is a cool language model created by OpenAI. It's kind of like a super smart computer program that can understand. Now, I think that's more like a fourth grader. And this time I'm going to show you my paid version now. Let's see. Here's my paid version. We're going to ask it the same thing. There are no parameters in my settings here. So it's not going to call me by name or anything like that. But here's slightly different when there's no parameters and this is the paid version of ChatGPT. So for those of you that are just joining me, please respond. Tell me where you're from. Tell me what's going on. Tell me if, you're using ChatGPT, how you're using it, and maybe do you have a fear around ChatGPT, especially if you're an educator or a parent? Like, what's your fear? What's going on? So this is what it tells you what it is. And I think that everybody that decides to use it should ask it this question or give it this statement. Like, what are you? What in the heck are you? And notice that, and you don't need to read this now, but if you wanted to, you can ask it yourself. It's going to give you a different, every time I ask this statement or the question, what is ChatGPT? It states it differently. This is why OpenAI, so I'm going to go back to the OpenAI platform, that blog. Here it says, how can educators respond to OpenAI? Remember this. It asks you if there's a bias. And the other one, my favorite one was, well, first of all, this is huge. There it is. Between the ages of 13 and 18 must have parent or guardian permission to use the platform. So that's something that you should be cognizant of. And there are no AI generated programs that can tell you if they're cheating. So just something to kind of be ahead of and think about. So there's the background of AI, and see this AGI. People are like, what is AGI? It's artificial general intelligence. So it's generated pre-trained transformer, and it tells you that up there. And that's kind of like it's a language model. And if I wanted it to explain this part, it's a mechanism. There are versions of it and there are applications of it. But this part right here, GPT models are trained on vast amounts of text and data. So it's not just this bot doing it. You have hundreds of people in the background, engineers that are saying, no, don't do this, do this. No, that's not correct. My hope is that they have chemists and things like that in the background, like, no, that's not the way we look at this molecular equation, things like that. But of course, they're pulling data from everywhere. Now, 4.0 will pull from the internet. 3.5, which I remember I had the free version as well. I can go back to the free version here. The free version tends to spit out things a little bit faster. Now you notice that it was pretty fast when it did this. Let me show you again, but there are limitations to it. These limitations, despite its capabilities, it can generate nonsense. We call that hallucinations. You know that, like, if you taught kindergarten or any grade, you have that one kid that you're teaching a concept, and I'm just going to say this. If you're teaching this one concept, and that one concept to this kindergarten child or fifth grader or 10th grader, all of a sudden they're like, hey, yesterday I went to Disneyland and this is what we did. Like, it had nothing to do with what you were talking about. We call that kind of like, it's not necessarily nonsense, but they go off on a tangent and you're like, I don't know why are you talking about that? Like, and you probably as educators say, okay, that's something that we're going to talk about later, write it on a slip, put it in the box, and then we'll give you 5 minutes to talk about your Disneyland trip. ChatGPT does that too. Like nonsense answers, hallucinations, and you almost have to remind it, no, I said this, do this. And I'm not sure where you are in your perspective of ChatGPT, but if you tell me where you are, if you give me like a grade level or the age of maybe some of your children, I actually can maybe do a ChatGPT response based on that. I can look at, well, what's going on. So for example, okay, so, all right. So I'm going to add this. So educator information and definition of ChatGPT, AI, district is training teachers about ChatGPT. Okay, so I'm in California as well. Not every district is or have talked about it. There are some districts that have at least opened it up for educators because of their efficiency, and which is great. And I'm a former principal. I now work for a small district as a director, and we're at least on the back end having conversations. But as far as the scope and sequence, we're not there yet. But this is kind of a big deal with what we're doing differently in AI, what the scope and sequence is. Is there an administrative regulation, board policy about using ChatGPT? Google, again, you can do a full on, back in 95, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, kids were using it to create their essays. So here's what I would do as an administrator. This is one of, here, if you're an administrator, I'm going to show you something. Go to the U.S. Department of Education, and and go to the Office of Educational Technology. You can type in U.S. Department of Education, Artificial Intelligence. Go to this page, okay? If you go to this page, you are going to get what the U.S. Department is saying about AI. This is a 71-page document. If you go to the core you can download it. It's quick, it's easy. If you want the download pretty quickly, I have a QR code. If you want that, you can grab it, because I actually just let you do it. You just need to take a picture of it, screenshot it, look at it later. The QR code is up in the left-hand corner, but this is a core message. It's 4 pages, and it gives you an overview and a scope and sequence of AI in the future of teaching and learning. It gives you some basic definitions or defining AI in schools. It gives you key insights. This is the part that I really liked about the AI model. I love this diagram. This right here tells you that within an educational systems perspective, system thinking, and then the humans in the loop. Like, we need to be at the forefront of it. And the reason why is because of the ethics behind it. So first of all, I'm just going to download it. And as an educator, let me tell you, I loved using articles in my professional development, even with students, like peer-reviewed articles. Yes, even when I taught 8th grade science, because they should see what this language looks like, and maybe it's really high level for children or students. So you can download this if you have the paid version, and I'm sure I'm going to go with some of you already do because you know about it. You can take this article, you can go and grab it, you can upload this article and say, give me a scope of, I'll just say document, questions to ask my teachers. Let's ask probing questions to ask my teachers, and what create a, let's just see if it'll know my acronym, PD for a training. So I uploaded this. It's giving me, it tells me a little bit about the document. It breaks it apart quickly: core messages, defining AI, key insights quickly, recommendations, contact and webinar information, introduction to AI. Now it's giving me the PD. It knew professional development. For some people, this feels like cheating. I read that article. I do believe you should read this article first, but let's say you don't. Put it in front of the teachers, give them these questions. Here is the deep dive. It gives you how you can do this training. The deep dive, discuss the implications of the insights for teaching practices and student learning experiences, group discussions or activities on adapting these insights into their classrooms. I don't know if your school district will let you do that, but you can at least say, you may not be able to do this today, but if we develop a plan, maybe we can present this to cabinet and say, we really want to allow our high school students to use this. We already know that Yale and Harvard, some of the other UCs and Cal States are using it in their classrooms because the students are going to do it anyway. So for example, if you YouTube, I believe it's Yale, one of the professors said, I told the students in class to go to ChatGPT, upload the assignment and say, do this assignment. And then I said, is that something you were looking at and thinking you were going to do? Now you go ahead and do this assignment without ChatGPT, or ask ChatGPT to give you an outline or give you some ideas on how you can create a great project. That's a full integration. And then having conversations about the ethics behind it, like how you can use it to create an assessment for you. These are these discussions, this right here, Q&A discussions on ethical considerations and future direction. Again, kids are going to use it. And here are those questions. How can an AI enhance personalized learning? How can AI enhance personalized learning in your classroom? What are concerns about data privacy and bias? Data privacy. You should not be taking your district's data and putting it in here. I am saying that out loud because I help support the state testing system, and I am confident that somebody just out of pure ignorance is going to do something like that. You don't want to put student data in there. Now, if you're in the state of California, so this is just a scope and sequence. I could actually write a blog about that. Like I can say, write me a blog around the future of AI based on that it will take that 71-page document. So I can go back here for those of you that are, if you're in the state of California, I'm going to go to the CASP website. This is the state testing system. I'm just going to go to this page and I'm just going to grab this right here. I'm going to Control C, Command C if you're on a Mac. I'm going to throw this data in there and just simply say, put in a table and see what happens. See, it's messy, right? Puts it in a table for me. I'm going to grab coffee while you go, ooh, like I wish I had like something where I could make a full explosion with this. So let me go back to sharing my screen because I just realized it wasn't. Look, so this is what I did. For those of you that are like, we can't see it. I grabbed this information. So sorry. And then I put it in the table. I threw it in here. It's really messy, really messy. And then it created a table. And then I want to show you that what I did with that other article is I uploaded it here. Oh my gosh, you didn't even see this. Me learning how to use Restream. That's what I'm doing. And then it gave me all this information, Q&A, and from that article that I uploaded. But this here, if you are a principal and you're like, I have no idea how to talk about this data, you can then go back to the state assessment information and you can go to all your student groups. You can add all the student groups in there one by one. So for example, if I wanted to go to economic status and you must apply it, and I just wanted to look at I'm going to grab this, but I'm going to have to give it parameters and say, add the SED data to the above table. And let's see if it does it. Okay, so I'm really appreciating this, Michael, that your districts are working closely with secondary admin and teachers. I don't know where you are. I will probably go look you up. You don't need to tell me now, but that is profound. So look at this. It put the SED data here. I probably would want it to reorganize this data. I'm just going to say reorganize it and see if it does it. I'm not sure what it's going to look like. Let's see. Okay, so this time I put ELA here with the state data and then the SED. You could I've had it throw in, like I've looked at districts around the state of California just to kind of compare and just see what it says. I can now say as an educator or a principal say, give me prompting questions for a data chat. I believe that we should get, first of all, data-driven decision-making, interventions, academic achievement, student-centered, looking at data. Students should look at their data. But if, your students could go home and you can say, with your parents' permission, you can put in your data and say, what are your recommendations based on my data so I can have interventions to do whatever. The other thing that you can do is, so goal setting. This is kind of a lot, but it will give you some ideas and some questions you can ask your teachers to think about their thinking of the data. Not every teacher has a background in looking at data. They look at the data, they go, okay, this is how they did, they move on. Instead of going, take a step back, 25% of my kids didn't get it, or 75% of my kids didn't get it, I need to do something differently. Give me some ideas on how I can do this differently. They can even take their product resources, curriculum, state standards, curriculum, the product, a PDF, and throw it into ChatGPT and say, I need some help on how to do this in the classroom. Oh, you're pretty close, Michael. That's amazing. So you should reach out because I love having conversations about what other districts are doing, and I just might, if you don't mind, because we're kind of at the beginning of the stages, and we're not really like pushing it, but we did allow teachers to use it to help them become efficient. Like, and I could say, create a lesson plan for students to discuss their data with peers. Like this is like, it's absolutely amazing what ChatGPT discussing achievement data with peers suitable for middle and high school. Not no, I'm going to argue with ChatGPT in a moment. Say, elementary children definitely can have peer-to-peer conversations about data. Now, I'm aware that sometimes this is spelling things wrong, and I can see it, but my glasses aren't in, and I'm getting new glasses. So elementary peer-to-peer data chat, copies of simplified anonymized achievement data. This is amazing what students can do, and the difference again between another difference between ChatGPT 4 or the upgraded version is I'm going to go back to yesterday. I did a live and I had an AI discussion, and I don't know if it's in here. I uploaded that report in here. I talked about how to use math as an assessment. Let's see. Well, you know what? Let's just for fun, we're going to go AI and PD. I'm going to ask ChatGPT, create an image of what you would look like if you were real. This is like the profound piece of using ChatGPT. And while it's thinking about it, I should show you that you can create. Look at that. Yesterday, I made a female version. It didn't have like a torso; it just had the head. And I'm trying to like, where is it? I did a lot yesterday. So let's see, what is ChatGPT? There it is. So, and you can download this image. You can download it. You can manipulate it. You can. If I downloaded it, I can do that. One of the things that I could do is I could upload it into this Restream and use it as a background. I can use it as, I don't know, a cover of a book, maybe. Just, things like that. So now I'm at my 30 minutes. If you really want that PDF or you would like to get my emails, I send out some information, resources, articles, and AI that I found because my job is to do research. I would love to send that out to you. Grab that QR code. And I'm very appreciative for you hanging out with me this morning, this nice Saturday morning in California. And I look forward to seeing you or talking to you in the future. So my hope is to go live at least every Saturday. I do go live every evening, but in other locations. So thank you so much, and enjoy your day. Goodbye, everybody.